Monday. It is Monday, April 28th. I can't believe we're already at the end of another month again, but I welcome everybody into artbeats.com/live. I'm Deb Floros. This is my show, Designing with Deb. We meet every Monday morning. We start our creative week off right here at artbeats.com. And we do a little bit of designing and a little bit of making and a little bit of shopping, a little bit of chit chat, all of the above. So if you like all of those things, you can hang out with us and do that as well. Let's see. The weekend was good for me. We did a little bit of hanging out in our local area, and we also did a few things around the house, which was kind of nice. So let me know that you're here. Let me know what you did this weekend. Would love to hear that. Good morning, Michelle. Happy Monday. Anteater Diane is here. Susanna is here. Kim Caldwell is here. She is excited to see the neck mess. I'm not sure how we're going to do with that. We'll see. Piper is here. Ellen and Jay is here. Kat is here. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to see all of you. Hello, Hazel. Guys, so again, it is Monday, April 28th, and we're at the end of another month. So we are wrapping up the month right. And if you're watching live on artbeats.com or you're watching the show live elsewhere, you'll know that we are in the midst of a Dollar Days sale. So there is a bunch of $1, $2, and $3 deals, and I will always check out the sale for you guys. So I'm always going and checking out what's available, what's there. There are prestige crystals. There are charms, which we're going to need some for this project we're doing. And there are findings. There are all kinds of great goodies. Today is the last day of that sale. April 28th ends at the end of the day today. So don't miss out on that. And guys, if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, we can't see your comments live. We can't see the chit chat live. We'd love for you to come on over to the show here at artbeats.com/live. You can put that in your browser, or you can just go to artbeats.com and you'll see like a live icon at the top of the page or in the website menu, and that will bring you to our live shows. And I'm seeing so many more comments. Let me go back and get caught up. Let's see. I think I stopped here. So Monty is here. Co-conspirator is waving. Denise H says, good morning to everybody. Hello, you guys. Kim Caldwell says she made a neck mess, but maybe they're just layered necklaces. Yeah, that too. Susan J, hi from Seattle. Hannah is here from Iceland. Welcome, Hannah. Susanna said she made her lariat this weekend. She loves it. Thank you, Susanna. I love making lariats. We made one last week. If you guys want to go back and check out that show if you missed it. Hello, Julie P. And Santa Barbara Girl is waving to Anteater Diane. Kathleen is here. And Piper says she went to the Dakota Stones warehouse sale this weekend, got some great deals. She got Ethiopian opals. Oh my goodness. You could use those with what we're doing today. Kathleen from SoFlo is here. Oh my gosh. And Moni says, I have a neck mess, but mine's considered do-overs. Yeah, okay. And Hannah says, ooh, whoa, Piper. All right, you guys. So before I flip over, let's talk about how you can watch this show live. So if you are at artbeats.com/live and watching here, you can comment and chit chat with us. So you can drop your name in and start commenting, chat with your friends here. It's such a fun community. And you can also show the love by clicking on that heart. I just saw a few. Thank you guys for doing that. And you can shop the show. So if you click on that shopping bag, you'll see everything that's available in the show. And there's a lot of stuff in the show today. And you'll also get shoppable links throughout the course of the show. You can shop while you watch. I won't go away. You can click on that little shopping bag. I'll get smaller on the screen, but you can start to load some of these things into your shopping cart so that you can get them home to you as soon as possible and start making. Hello, Eric. How is everybody? How are you? So we've got Michelle and Eric in the background. So if you've got questions, please let us know throughout the course of the show. I'm going to flip my camera down and I'm going to show you what's on my work table. So I've got some neck mess things here. But before we go there, I want to show you. So the neck mess is kind of, it's really another, someone pointed it out. It's really another name for layered necklaces. And it's kind of been made popular, I don't know, in the last couple of years or so. And I've seen like whole Instagram pages devoted to these necklaces with charms, all layered up, really fun. Some of them just with chain, some with beads, and a mix of both. So whatever you want to call it, neck mess, layered necklaces, that's what we're going to talk about and design today. This one I was wearing, and I used some gemstones with this one. And this is just one of what I would layer with other things. So I've got some beautiful gemstones from Dakota Stone. Speaking of Dakota Stones, these are matte polychrome jasper. They're 8mm. There's so much color variation in these. These are in the show today. And then I layered up some cool charms and things. So what I did was I actually grabbed some things from that marathon live sale I did 2 weeks ago during the warehouse clearance. So this little octopus charm was in the warehouse clearance. This is a stampable disc that was in the clearance. I did kind of a fun, messy stamp there with some hearts and my name. And I've got this fun little ginkgo charm. This was also in the clearance sale. So I put these all in the show. So if you like silver charms, if you like more of that silver vibe, that's what I did here. I've also got a prestige. Is that a prestige? Pearl. Oh, you know what? I mixed up a bag. I think it is one of the Baroque pearls that was in the warehouse clearance as well. And Michelle says metal stamping is so fun. I think it is too. So this is one of a neck mess, is you can add a beaded piece. And if you want to do a bead, hi Loretta, welcome. So you could also do wood beads. So maybe you've got a design or a neck mess that you want to be a little bit more rustic or a little bit more earthy. These are some fun beads. These are also in the show. These are in the clearance section, and there are 10mm smooth rounds. So they would look really cool with a neck mess concept. And then if you want to go super swanky, these are also from Dakota Stones. These are red garnet. And I can tell you, I can never get enough garnet. I have been crazy about garnet this year. So these are beautiful. These are a little bit smaller. They're 6mm rondelles, but they would also look fantastic with a bunch of charms, a bunch of fun things dangling from them, and as one layer of your neck mess. So that's a few of the options I dropped in the show. And of course, when you've got your beaded necklace, you'll need some kind of a clasp. And this was also in the clearance show a couple weeks back. Look at this beautiful Bali silver round clasp. It's gorgeous. This is a great deal. So this is something you might want to check out and drop in your cart, so you've got that as an option for one of your designs. So that's this layer. And then let me show you, I started working on our first layer. So this is a super fun layer of neck mess. So this is putting lots of fun things together. So maybe your neck mess might be about things that are meaningful to you. So I've got this big Buddha pendant. This is a Gardan beads pendant, and it is a Pacific blue enameled brass Buddha. And I dangled some beads from the bottom with kind of some exaggerated simple loops. And the beads are, let's see, they are an 8mm check glass round crystal AB. So they kind of look nice with that blue. They pick up the blue. So I used that as my main focal in the center of my piece. But with these neck mess necklaces, you don't have to be worried about what's in the center or how you orient them. You can just make a mess, so to speak. So I've got a prestige crystal pendant in pink. Pink is one of my favorite colors. I've got this beautiful, this is, let me find the package. This is a Tiara Cast reversible flora charm, which is two-sided. It's a little bit different on each side. So maybe you want to throw that in. Look at this beautiful Tiara Cast cushion frame charm. Wow. And then look at this little elephant. So I love elephants. This is also reminiscent of my birthstone. So I'm an April baby. So diamonds, you can't always put diamonds on your necklaces. So this beautiful Tiara Cast charm comes pretty darn close. Look at the sparkle on that. So I kind of put together things that inspired me, and I put it together on this incredible chain. So neck mess necklaces, you might find that they are more often more delicate chain. But my take is you can use any chain, and I want to use chain that I like and that I enjoy. And I sometimes prefer a chunkier chain. So this is a double cable chain, and it's brass oxidized. It's got 8mm links, and it's textured. So look at all the texture in this. So it's like one ring is textured and the other is not. So look at how that just adds so much interest. And with all of these beautiful things dangling from it, it's really cool chain. So if you're not a neck mess person and you just love a nice chain charm necklace, this, you could just put a clasp on this and be done. And I'm going to start here with putting a clasp on this. So I'm going to put all of my little packages off to the side, get everything out of my way, and we're just going to put a quick clasp on this. This will be our first layer of our neck mess. Gina Marie, is it soldered? Yes, if I remember right. Oh no, actually it's not. So let me see, it's not soldered. So that's cool. So great question, Gina Marie. This is not soldered. So if you have to take off a section, so if you need a shorter section than what you purchase, or you want to break it up, you can just remove the rings. And if you end up with just a few of them, you can use these as jump rings. And a good textured jump ring is always good to have. So I've got a lobster here. And it is a 15 by 8 millimeter antique brass plated trigger clasp. So it's a lobster. And I'm going to use it for this piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up one of these rings since Gina Marie was reminding me that this is an open ring. With this kind of a necklace, if you don't have to add extra things, that's kind of cool. So I'm opening up one of my rings and I'm going to drop on my lobster like that. I'm using Xuron tools today. These are also in the show. And then you've got your lobster. Now, you could come over to this side and add another jump ring, maybe a solo jump ring at the end here, but you don't have to. The cool thing about working with chain is you can take your lobster claw and just like link it right onto your chain. And in this case, I've got two links. So I can link onto one, I could link onto both. And guess what? This necklace is now convertible or sizable because I can come down and I can put the lobster onto any one of my links of the chain. So that's really fun. This is our first layer. So I'm going to pull this up. Actually, I'm going to pull it off to the side and I'm going to put my mat down because this is kind of loud on the table. So sorry about that, guys. So let's put this on the mat and let's do another chunky layer. So I've got some really cool things here to work with. I've got this chain. So this is, let me get this out of the way and let me find my packaging. So this is antique brass plated 3 oval links Rolo chain. And this chain, as well as the chain I just showed, is sold by the foot. I got 2 feet of the previous chain and 2 feet of this chain. I actually think I got 2 feet of all of the chain that I'm working with today. Look at these fun links. Look at this fun, chain. It's got so much texture, so much interest. And Michelle says she uses this chain as chain extenders for bracelets. I love that idea. So this is fun. And I started by using that same lobster and I attached the lobster to one of the large links. And that's the cool thing about this chain is you can set it up however you'd like. You can make it very symmetrical. You can make it asymmetrical. And again, you can make this necklace sizable by attaching your lobster claw wherever you want to attach it on your necklace. Thank you, Kim. I love the chains too. So I've got some fun charms and you might see why I like these. So I'm a Southwest girl. So I picked these fun Southwest charms. This guy was in the clearance sale. He's a steer. He is tiara cast and look at this fun cactus. Oh my gosh. I love me. I've got a heart. I've got a hand of, here's my birthstone representation. And then I've got another Baroque pearl. So let's just have some fun and put these things onto our chain. Now, what I like to do to start with is I will take my 2 ends. And since my 2 ends are not exactly the same with this chain, I'm just going to put them, I'm going to hold them in my hand and then I'm going to see where my center point is. And my center point is a kind of an asymmetrical look with those links going off to either side. I actually really love that. So I'm going to kind of take my charms and think about where I might want them placed. And the cool thing is there's lots of different places to connect them on our chain. So I'm thinking I might just do some really fun things here at the bottom and then a little bit up at the top, but we're going to play around and see what we can do here. Now, a couple things I'm going to do to start is I'm going to use a head pin, and that's pin, and I'm going to wire wrap a bead. So you can make a bead, a charm, a dangle, whatever you want to call it. And that becomes another element of your necklace. You could do another fun element of adding beads, and they will dangle like charms. So I'm just going to open that up and get that ready to attach. So that's all ready to go. Then I'm going to grab some jump rings. Now, my rule of thumb for jump rings is I'm going to use the smallest jump ring that still allows my piece to move. So my favorite size is 4 millimeter. And that to me is kind of the perfect size for a lot of applications. But sometimes you can't use a 4 millimeter because it will be too tight to connect your two pieces together. So a jump ring is going to allow you to connect a couple things together. So I will have some of those available. Then I've also got some bigger ones. I've got some 8 millimeters, and I chose mostly an antique brass vibe here for these designs. But you can mix metals. If you're working with silver, you can grab some silver ones. You do you. But I opted to go with kind of an antique brass vibe today. So I'm going to take my pearl and I'm going to attach it kind of right where I had it. So I'm going to put it on that link, and I'm going to grab my bent chain nose, and I'm going to hold on to my loop, and I'm just going to do a few wraps to get that pearl secured. And then I'm going to come in with my cutters, and I'm just going to snip off that end of my wire and come in with my chain nose, and we've got our first connection here. So got a little pearl, super fun. Now I've managed to mess up my placement, so I'm just going to get everything back where I think it should be so we can see. So that's our first charm, so to speak, on our piece. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is I think I'm going to put this one here. So this is kind of a heavy connection point, this ring, and this is a little bit of a heavier bail. So I am going to use a larger jump ring here. So I'm going to use one of my 8 millimeter jump rings, and all I'm going to do is open that guy up like that and attach my charm and attach it to that link there, that chunky link. Oops. And close that up. Now that's giving me, that's a bigger jump ring than I would normally like to use there, but maybe like a 7 millimeter would work best there, but maybe 6, 7, but it still works. It's still going to add interest and create some fun movement here. Okay. Now for the next one, let's see. I think I'm going to go with this heart. So this heart is a JBB heart. Look at the design on this. It's got like these swirls up top. Swirls are one of the most universally used designs out there since forever. So I love a swirly heart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that right on the jump ring that's next to this fun link. This is a really flat link and it's very wide, so we can take advantage of the link that's up here. So I'll move this up a little bit so you can make sure you guys see that. So we're going to put that there. So I'm going to grab a small jump ring, one of my 4mm jump rings, and I'm going to open that up, and we're going to drop that on to that link there. And then we're going to close that up and make sure that our jump rings are closing up nice and secure. And let me just get this guy situated up here. There we go. So that's what we're looking like so far. Fun, right? Yes. Good morning, Joan in Phoenix. I didn't see you pop in. Okay, so then I think I'm going to come back up here, and I think, let's see, I think I might put this guy here. So kind of offsetting this lovely little pearl here, I'm going to come over here and use this really dark metal. Isn't he cool? I love dark metals. I have my own dark metals collection of jewelry where I work with all darkened metals, and I dig that look. I just think it's super interesting and fun. So we're going to drop that onto that jump ring again next to that really flat link of chain. And we're going to tighten up that jump ring, get that nice and snug. So there's our cool little steer head up there. Now I've got two more things here. I think charm this Hamsa hand charm and put that here. So hi Maggie, thank you so much. Piper, these are not pokey. They're smooth. They might look pokey, but they're not as pokey as they look. So that steer is going to be, he's going to be very safe for you to wear as jewelry. So here's our double-sided Hamsa hand. This is a Tiara Cast piece. This is one of my favorite designs from Tiara Cast. I absolutely adore it. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to grab that jump ring next to that large link again. And I'm going to close up our jump ring and lay this out again. Ooh, I got that all, let's see, get that all straightened out. Maybe like that. Come back around. Yes, okay. So we got these all connected. And now, there we go. There we go. All right, that's looking like it should. Okay, one more charm. And right now I'm super inspired by cactus because they are blooming here in Arizona. They're just starting to bloom, which is so much fun. I love to see the beautiful flowers that come from cactus. All right, and I think one side or the other is where I want to put this. I think I'm going to put this off next to the pearl. So I want to balance out my two Southwest things. Santa Barbara girl, Deb wouldn't steer us wrong. Oh my gosh, another great one from Santa Barbara girl. Oh, I love your puns. They're so good. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to put that on to that link, that jump ring that's next to that link again. And now I love this. So let me push it downward so I can get it to come back up with everything laying in the right direction. Okay, see, that is fun. So that's like, this is a neck mess in and of itself because it's asymmetrical. It's pulling this centerpiece down. It's just really interesting and different. And what I did before the show was I added my lobster and I added a jump ring because I did end on the smaller section of chain on this side. But remember, when you've got chain and a lobster, you can make this convertible or sizable, and you can even fit that lobster on this link. So if you feel like, this necklace is going to go with your neck mess today and maybe not tomorrow, you can wear it differently today and differently tomorrow. So we've got 2 fun neck mess pieces so far. Okay. We're going to do one more, and the last one is going to be a little more dainty. So I do the dainty jewelry thing, but I appreciate it. I love it. And I think it's a lot of fun. And certainly sometimes you have to add a dainty piece to what you've got going. And in a neck mess situation, you might need some chunky and some not chunky, some dainty and some not dainty. So the sky is the limit with a neck mess design or a trio or more of chains. Anteater Diane says, I'm from New Mexico and I miss cactus and tumbleweed. I love cactus. Tumbleweeds, I don't run into a lot, but I have occasionally seen one go past the road on a really windy day. But we've got cactus all around us here where we live, and we love it. So let's look at this chain. This is antique brass plated curved tube chain, and it is sold by the foot. And I used this in a project before, I think in an antique silver. So this is links of little curved metal like tubes. And if I remember right, for those who might want to know, I think the rings in between are soldered. I think I had to cut this. So I got 2 feet of this chain, and this is just fun. It creates an interesting texture, interesting layer. And so that's a fun chain. That is also in the shopping bag. So if you are, if you joined late, a reminder about shopping the show. So you can always click on the shopping bag at any time. You don't have to wait for the shoppable links that might pop up here or down here. You can go to the shopping bag and you can see everything that's there. I don't go away. The show doesn't stop. You can drop things into your shopping cart as you watch. So I've got some smaller charms here to go with my smaller chain. I've got this lovely little tiara cast heart. So again, some of my favorite things. And I've got this little cute antique brass plated bee charm. Look at the bee, so cute. This is so detailed. It's a one-sided charm, but still the back looks really cool. And then this was in the, I think this was in the clearance show a couple weeks back. This is a beautiful Tree of Life charm. It's a deep gold plated brass. It's so beautiful. So we're going to mix that in. And then there is the tiniest of charms here. If I can find the packaging for this one. Here it is. This is a tiny little B&B Ben Bassett antique brass parrot charm. So cute, so tiny. And, you know, it looks just more like a nondescript bird to me than a parrot. So if you just like a cool bird charm, that's there as well. And then look at this beautiful flower. This is also tiara cast, and it is an apple blossom. So, you know, the apple blossoms always make people smile. So we've got a fun little collection of things. And if you're making a neck mess, like I said, it can be things that make you happy. It could be things that make someone happy and you're making it for them. There's just so many different ways that you can approach a neck mess. It could be themed. It could be totally random, kind of like the beaded piece I showed in the beginning. So I'm going to do a little bit of playing around and seeing what I think I might put in what order here. So the flower is bigger, the tree is bigger, the bee is a little bit bigger. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with a small one off to the left, then the bee, then the tree of life, the bird, and the flower. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to those little jump rings or those little rings and links in between the curved tubes. And I am going to use, I think I can use 4mm jump rings for all of the connection points. So first what I need to do, I'm going to put my charms over here and put them in the order I'm going to use them in. And I'm going to make sure I've got the right length. I'm going to check my length and I'm going to check my center point. And sometimes this chain wants to do its own thing, but you can tell it what to do. So I'm going to pull that and find that this is my center point. So my center point is actually one of those little links. And Santa Barbara Girl says, I would love little gem drops on there too. Yes. So maybe I can add some of our garnet. What do you think about that, Santa Barbara Girl? Hi, Linda Emery. You can catch up on what we already did on the replay, and you can always shop the replay too. Let's grab a few of those, and I'm going to put all of this into a little bowl. I'm going to grab we're going to add at least one of our rondelles here. So remember what we did is we just grabbed a head pin, just like any other time you would create a dangle. And I'm going to get this ready to attach. So I'm just going to get my loop made. So I've got look at that beautiful garnet. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're going to set that off to the side as well. So I think I might put that on the other side of my flower. So now I've got my center point right here, and I'm going to start by adding that tree of life in the center. So the bright gold there, I think will be nice and interesting and add a little bit of texture and that kind of thing. Let's see. Santa Barbara says, love the sparkles of gems with the matte. Yes. So this chain is very matte-esque. So we're going to attach that charm first. So now we've got our center point. So I'm going to situate that so that it is my center point. And you know, guys, I think you may, if you've watched me for a while, you may have noticed that when I can, I will often use 2 jump rings. This pendant has a very large hole, a large hole up top, or this charm. So I'm actually going to pull in a second jump ring. And I do that because I think sometimes it makes it look a little more substantive. So it looks a little like, almost like a bail. So I won't do that for everything, but I'm doing it here. I think it since it is the focal or the center point, it looks a little more finished, looks a little bit more, I don't know, pro style piece. So it's got like a little bail now. So I think the next piece, I think we said over here we're going to do a bee. So I'm going to skip 2 of the links and I'm going to put my bee right there. And I'm going to take our little 4mm jump ring again. And I would stock up on these little jump rings if you are into making a lot of these pieces. So stock up on jump rings, because then you've got a lot of jump rings ready to go for making your neck mess pieces. So come on, little bee. That little bee wants to fly around. Oh, look at that. Looks so cute. So much fun. All right, so then we're going to move over to this other side. And it's important, at least for me, to make sure, especially because this chain curves, I want to attach my charm at the right point on that little ring. So I want all of them to be sort of at the bottom and not attached to the top part of the ring, because then that will all lay really nicely. So just as a little tip there. So I'm going to take my little bird charm and I'm going to put that here. So I'm skipping 2 of those little chain links. And this little bird charm is tiny. So this is actually a really great little charm for like earrings. So if you just want a little simple, easy earring, you could literally drop that little charm right onto like a French hook ear wire. Super cute. And we're going to close that jump ring up. I'm going to pull that back around. And this particular necklace is a little bit nature themed, as you can see. So we've got a tree, a bee, a bird, and then let's go over here and add our heart. So pull that over a little bit so you can see it. And Santa Barbara Girl says, okay, now I want this chain, Baroque pearls and gems attached to the swag points. Yeah, I love this chain. This is some of my favorite chain. I have a design I did with this. It's hanging up behind me. Maybe I can show that in a little bit. But I love this chain. And let me get this right. So again, it's important for this design to hang your piece on your charm on the right kind of side or right section of that ring. So that's why I kind of lay everything down so that I can get it placed in the right spot and pick it up from there. Now, that looks adorable. Oh my gosh, look at that little heart. It's so cute. I love hearts. It's part of my own personal jewelry branding. If you follow me on social media, I'm Deb Loves, L-U-V-S, Jewelry Designs. And so anytime I can add a heart, I'm going to, and I love flowers. So this also has a fairly large hole. I might add 2 jump rings here, some skipping over those 2 links again and getting that attached. And I think I am going to add a second ring there. It will just make this look a little bit more finished. Sometimes you can't add a second one if your loop is not big enough. Like in the case of this little bird, that is a tiny little charm with a tiny little loop up top. So that one you'd never fit a second jump ring in there. So, oh my goodness, I am in love with this. Oh, now at the suggestion of Santa Barbara Girl, we're going to add a little bit of sparkle, and I'm just going to add, I think I might add just 1. So I've got my loop all ready to go. If you don't want to wire wrap directly onto your piece, you can make your wire wrap loop and attach with a jump ring. I'm going to wrap directly, and I'm actually going to put it on this side. So checking where I want to attach it, I'm going to drop it right into that link and get that. I need to open up my link just a little bit, or my head pin just a little bit. And then I've got it right onto that little tiny link. And then I'm going to grab my bent chain nose, and I'm just going to do a couple of wraps around. And I am working with Xuron tools today. They're in the show, so if you like the tools, you can get those home to you as well. All right, so now, oh, Santa Barbara Girl, I think I'm going to need to add one more of those on the other side because it's just so beautiful. So let me grab another head pin. Look at that little pretty up there. That was a great suggestion. And here's another one of the garnets. I actually like this garnet better. Pretty, beautiful faceted garnet. And then I'm going to do my wire wrapping loop. Just get that loop ready to go. I'm going to open that up. And then I'm going to make sure I've got my links in the right spot. So let me just double check. Okay, skipping 2 links. I'm going to come over and drop that into that chain link. So you can hold the chain like so, let it just dangle down once you get it in the right spot. And then wrap that around a couple times and, oops, and trim off your excess. All right. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, that is so much fun. So that is our third piece. So we've got dainty, we've got super chunky, like that. And we've got kind of asymmetrical, wild and crazy piece like that. I'm going to pull this whole thing up so you could see all of these beautiful things together. So that's a neck mess. Now, a few more things. Let me get my jump rings out of the way here. Put those in some trays. I don't want to lose these because I'm going to be making some more of these neck mess necklaces. So a few more things. If you like a big charm, maybe for one of your necklaces, I've got some options for you. Antique brass. I found an artisan piece. So this is an Anna Bronze antique brass crescent moon pendant. And for this one, you can attach here and add one of those Baroque pearls, or maybe one of these, maybe even another charm. So let me find, I've got some extra charms here. Let me find. I had a little extra elephant, I thought. Oh, here's a pearl. I'll show you what it would look like. So I've got a pearl, and you could just do this. So attach your pearl, and that could be a really cool center. If you want one big piece, that would be an option for you. Another option, if you like the kind of boho south, and if I wanted to do all thematically Southwest, oh, thank you, Santa Barbara Girl. You could do this big feather. So this is a tiara cast. It's 3 inches. So this could be a long pendant here. It could be a long pendant here. Heck, you could put it up here. So this is another option too, is you can grab one big pendant, and then you've got all of this other charmy goodness and fun stuff here. Now, I'll throw some other ideas at you. If you are doing mixed metals or you're doing silver, this was from the clearance show a couple weeks back. This is a Zola Elements connector piece. You would connect your your chain on either side. And guess what? This enables you to add charms. So if you want another mess within a mess, you can attach this and attach a bunch of charms or beads. So maybe you want to take those garnets and attach a bunch of them here. You could actually wire wrap those directly on, or you could take some wire and just coil the wire around and attach your beads. That's another option. And there's also this piece. I think this may have even been in the clearance show. Look at this. So you could add even more dimension to your piece by adding this gorgeous JBB sterling silver 6-loop pendant flowers. It is stunning. This is an absolutely spectacular piece. So you could add that and add more to it. Some of these charms are small enough that they would all hang around. You could do a Baroque pearl. You could take your pearl, put that at the bottom. You could add some of your garnets around. This just allows you to even create more dimension, more texture, more interest. Super, super fun. Santa Barbara Girls, are any finish on the sterling? I'm not sure what you mean. So maybe Michelle has info. Linda Emery says love. Monty says love the heart. So this is another option if you want to do mixed metals or you want to grab some silver chain. Now I've got some other chain that might be interesting for you. So this one is also more of a dainty chain, but look at this. This looks like little suns. And it is called brass cog chain. And that could also be another layer, or could just be your smaller layer in this kind of a chunky, varied chain type. Let's see, I missed a comment. Do you make all of your chains the same length, or do you make them different lengths? So I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, Ellen from New Jersey. Let me show you a couple more things and then we'll talk about that. So that is another type of chain for you. If you want to mix in gold, a bright gold, there's this. This was also in the clearance sale. So you could throw in some gold. Look at this beautiful chain. It's got some amazing texture. And this would be really interesting as a layer here. Add in layers, or you want to make that your kind of thinner layer or more dainty layer. That is a beautiful chain. Then I've got one more chunky option for you. And then we'll get into how to put this all together on your neck. So this is absolutely cooler than cool antique copper plated Rolo. This was in the clearance show as well, so it is still available. There's still some left, and this is gorgeous. So look at adding copper to the mix. So this could be another chunky layer. It could be just your chunky layer, and mixing metals is fantastic for a neck mess design. So that's super cool. That's also available. So, okay, let me move all of this over to the side. We did not put a clasp on this guy. So let's do that really quick. And then we'll talk about, and we could start talking about how to size these. So my suggestion is, first of all, don't be overly concerned about the size or the length. But you do want to make sure you get them to fit you. So if you want a short one, then you will want to make sure that however short it is, that it is going to fit you. So don't make it too short. You can always adjust with extender chain or some extra chain, but you'll just want to make sure that the shortest one will actually fit you. Now I've got a smaller jump ring in the show, and it's actually out of stock. This is a smaller one for my daintier piece, but you may want to add your email to this piece, because it might it might tell you when we get those back in stock if we do. So I'm using 4mm jump rings. I'm attaching this, and I'm attaching it directly to my chain link. So like that with a 4mm, and like that. So back to sizing. So I like a short chain, a medium chain, and a little bit of a longer chain. And one way that you can think about putting the chains together is making sure that you've got clearance for your charms. But if you've seen the neck messes out there, you've probably seen that some of them overlap each other, which is perfectly fine. So if you just want that messy look, these things can all overlap each other. Now, I'm going to try to put these on. I think what I'll do is flip my camera around. So, hi, I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to put on each one of these necklaces. Hopefully I can do that. It's always hard to put these on camera. So let me take this guy. Now, the other beautiful thing about making these kinds of necklaces is you can always take a link off, or adjust, or cut, or trim, or take a charm off. So there's our first one, dainty. You could just do this. You could just wear this fun piece, our little garnet. There's our garnet, Santa Barbara girl. Then I think the way I oriented these next. So see, there's just not quite enough clearance. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. So there's just, a little bit of clearance there. Then I've got this guy, and I'm going to hold on to that jump ring, and we're going to add that one in, and that one kind of overlaps the other one. Okay, like that. But I kind of like that. This is a neck mess if I've ever seen one. So let me get a little bit closer up so you can see all of those things. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Now, what if I brought this one in too? So this guy, this is the beaded piece I had earlier. So we'll put that into the mix. Look at all that. That is, wow. So this is just a really, that piece was turned around. So we've got lots of fun charms, chain, beads. We've got some sparkle. We've got some things that are special to us, hearts, and oh my gosh, just so fun. So play around with this. I'll also share, I didn't come up with this, but I saw someone on social media say that if you attach your different necklaces, so sometimes people don't want them to get all tangled up, but if you take one end of one necklace, one end of another necklace, and attach them, that it will help kind of keep them all in place. I have not tried this, but that is another option. And there's always the option of a multi-strand connector clasp, and you can permanently put them all together. But I kind of like the idea of make the necklaces and then choose which ones you're going to wear. Like maybe you don't want to wear, I don't know if I could get this off now. Let's see if I can get this off. Okay. So what if I did just these 3 pieces? So we've got our beaded piece and our little dainty piece. That one's kind of covering up that one, but maybe I could put it off to the side a little bit. So look at that. That's fun, right? So many possibilities. So I'm excited about making more of these. I have not really done a lot of these myself, although I've made a lot of pendant necklaces and charm bracelets, but I haven't really done a lot of this. So I had fun coming up with some of these for you guys, and I hope that you will drop some of these beauties in your cart and get them home and play. Make some fun necklaces, make a neck mess, make a mess. Just make a mess. Thank you, Julie P. And Monty says she's more confident about her neck mess. Well, good. Go. I mean, there's no rules, you guys. Make what you feel you like and what looks good to you. And there's so many possibilities. I mean, just so many possibilities. So if you have things in your cart, don't forget to check out so you don't miss out on some of the clearance deals that are in the show and some of the limited stock pieces that are in the show. And I hope that you guys will come back and share the neck mess pieces that you make. So if you're not already part of the Art Beads Facebook group, go to Serious Art Beaters on Facebook and join us. You just have to answer a few questions and you can join us and you can share what you've made. And we'd love to see some beautiful things you've made. Diane, Anteater Diane shared something. I think it was this morning that she made from one of my shows a while back, and that just warmed my heart to see it there. So thank you for doing that, Anteater Diane. We want to see things from all of you. And guys, if you want to get our newsletter, go to the bottom of the artbeads.com website, join us, and you can also get text messages so that you can be in the know. You can type the word join to 1-833-327-4614, and you can join there and know about all of the things. So stay tuned this week. Set your reminders for all of the other designers and check out the wonderful things they're going to have for you this week. I appreciate that you were here with me this week. Thank you so much. I had a great time making a mess with all of you. I'll see you next Monday morning. Bye, guys. Have a great week.